I am Dr. P. N. Lakshmi Shanmugam, Assistant Professor, Department of Educational Psychology, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, Chennai. Let us see about the topic scaling techniques. After completing this module, the prospective teachers are able to acquire knowledge of measurements and scaling techniques in research, to understand the meaning of measurement scales in research, to understand the types of measurement scales in research, apply the appropriate scale on the research problem, develop interest on classifying and discuss about different types of measurement scales. Measurement scales. If a thing exists, it exists in some amount, and if it exists in some amount, it can be measured. Measurement scales. For a beginner, it is important to understand that the way a variable is measured determines the type of analysis that can be performed, the statistical procedures that can be applied to the data, the way the data can be interpreted, and the findings that can be communicated. You may not realize in the beginning that the style of your report is entirely dependent upon the way the different variables have been measured. The way you measure the variables in your study determines whether your study is qualitative or quantitative in nature. It is therefore important to know about the measurement scales for variables. Meaning of measurement scales. The frame into which we wish to make everything fit is one of our own construction, but we do not construct it at random. We construct it by measurement, so to speak, and that is why we can fit the facts into it without altering their essential qualities. Measurement is central to any scientific inquiry. The greater the refinement in the unit of measurement of a variable, the greater the confidence, other things being equal, one can place in the findings. One of the main differences between the physical and social sciences is the units of measurement used and the degree of importance attached to them. Classification of measurement scales. There are two main classification systems in social sciences for measuring different types of variables. One was developed by S.S. Stevens and the other by Duncan. Stevens has classified the different types of measurement scale into four categories: nominal or classificatory, ordinal or ranking, interval and ratio. The nominal or classificatory scale. A nominal scale enables the classification of individuals, objects, or responses based on a common shared property or characteristics. These people, objects, or responses are divided into a number of subgroups in such a way that each member of the subgroup has a common characteristic. A variable measured on a nominal scale may have one, two, or more subcategories depending upon the extent of variation. Example, water and tree have only one subgroup, whereas the variable gender can be classified into two subcategories, male and female. Classification by means of a nominal scale ensures that individuals, objects, or responses within the same subgroup have a common characteristic or property as the basis of classification. The sequence in which subgroups are listed makes no difference as there is no relationship among subgroups. Nominal scale, yes or no. The ordinal or ranking scale. An ordinal scale has all properties of a nominal scale plus one of its own. Besides categorizing individuals, objects, responses, or a property into subgroups on the basis of a common characteristic, it ranks the subgroups in a certain order. They are arranged either in ascending or descending order according to the extent a subcategory reflects the magnitude of a variation in the variable. Example, income can be measured either quantitatively or qualitatively. The subcategory above average indicates that people show grouped have more income than people in the average category, and people in the average category have more income than those in the below average category. Therefore, an ordinal scale has all the properties characteristic of a nominal scale. In addition to its own, subcategories are arranged in the order of magnitude of the property characteristics. Also, the distance between the subcategories is not equal as there is no quantitative unit of measurement. Interval scale. An interval scale has all the characteristics of an ordinal scale, that is, individuals or responses belonging to a subcategory have a common characteristics and the subcategories are arranged in an ascending or descending order. In addition, an interval scale uses a unit of measurement that enables the individuals or responses to be placed at equally spaced intervals in relation to the spread of the variable. The scale has a starting and a terminating point that is divided into equally spaced units intervals. The starting and terminating points and the number of units intervals between them are arbitrary and vary from the scale to scale. Centigrade and Fahrenheit scales are examples of the interval scale. In the centigrade system, the starting point is 0 and the terminating point is 100 degrees centigrade. Another example. The interval scale is relative, that is, it plots the position of individuals or responses in relation to one another with respect to the magnitude of the measurement variable. Hence, an interval scale has all the properties of an ordinal scale, plus it has a unit of measurement with an arbitrary starting and termination point. Therefore, it is relative in nature. It helps starting individuals or responses in relation to each other with respect to the magnitude of the measuring variable. As it is a relative scale, no mathematical operations can be performed on its readings. The ratio scale. A ratio scale has all the properties of nominal, ordinal and interval scales plus its own property. The 0 point of a ratio scale is fixed, which means it has a fixed starting point. Therefore, it is an absolute scale. The difference between the intervals is always measured from a 0 point. This means the ratio scale can be used for mathematical operations. The measurement of income, age, height, and weight are examples of this scale. Ratio scale. Measurement scale, nominal or classificatory. Characteristics of the scale. A nominal or classificatory, each subgroup has a characteristic property which is common to all classified within that subgroup. Ordinal or ranking have all the characteristics of a nominal scale. Example, individuals, groups, characteristic classified under a subgroup have a common characteristic, plus subgroups have a relationship to one another. They are arranged in ascending or descending order. Interval has all the characteristics of an ordinal scale, which also includes a nominal scale, plus it has a unit of measurement with an arbitrary starting and a termination point. Ratio scale has all the properties of an interval scale, plus it has a fixed starting point, that is a 0 point. Knowledge of the different types of variables and the way they are measured plays a crucial role in research. Variables are important in bringing clarity and specificity to the conceptualization of a research problem, to the formulation of hypotheses, and to the development of a research instrument. They affect how the data can be analyzed, what statistical tests can be applied to the data, what interpretations can be made, how the data can be presented, and what conclusions can be drawn. The way I ask a question determines its categorization on a measurement scale, which in turn affects how the data can be analyzed, what statistical tests can be applied to the data, what interpretations can be made, how the data can be presented, and what conclusions can be drawn. Also, the way a variable is measured at the data collection stage to a great extent determines whether a study is considered to be predominantly qualitative or quantitative in nature. It is important for a beginner to understand the different ways in which a variable can be measured and implications for the study. A variable can be classified from these three perspectives that are not mutually exclusive: causal relationship, design of the study, and unit of measurement. There are 4 measurement scales used in the social sciences: nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. Dear learners, try to attend this assessment. Dash determines whether the study is qualitative or quantitative in nature. Nominal scale is also called as dash. Dash is central to any scientific inquiry. Measurement scales are classified into dash categories. Nominal scale is the dash level of measurement. Rank order scale is also called dash. In interval scale, the difference between two dash numbers is meaningful. Dash is the highest level of measurement. Interval scale is also called dash. A ratio scale has Thank you.